Grandma, please give me $10 for my pocket money today. My 6-year-old granddaughter walks in with a big smile on her face. Oh, Ava, you're here again. My voice was decidedly darker than one would expect for addressing a grandchild, but it's no wonder. After all, it was the 5th day in a row that Ava came to our house for money. When I returned from living abroad for 10 years, my granddaughter came to visit me, who had only seen photos of me when she was a baby. At first, I was so happy to see her for the first time, but as expected, I was caught by the fact that she visited me every day and begged for pocket money every time, so I called my son's home many times. I involuntarily raise my voice to my daughter-in-law who has finally connected. What kind of education are you giving your children, and how can you make them come to our house every day to collect money? What? What are you talking about? I was rather confused by my daughter-in-law's bewildered voice. And after that, I will be astonished by the truth that came out of her mouth. I moved abroad at the age of 50 due to my husband's work. At that time, I left my son, who was a university student, in America, and left America with my wife. My son eventually became a member of society, got married, and had a child 6 years ago. When I saw the pictures of the babies that were sent to me, my husband and I were overjoyed and sent a lot of diapers to annoy our daughter. After 10 years of living abroad, I decided to return to America when my husband retired. I contacted my son to let him know that I would be returning home a bit earlier than planned. I'm going home on a flight the day after tomorrow, can you pick me up? Sorry. I'm actually leaving on a business trip overseas starting tomorrow. Oh, what a timing mismatch. That's unfortunate. It was a pity that I couldn't see my son right away, but I was so excited to live in America for the first time in a long time. My son and his wife didn't live in our house in a prime location because it was too big and difficult to maintain, so we asked a contractor to take care of it regularly. 2 days after returning to America, when I finally finished cleaning the house, a girl suddenly came to visit my house. Hello, Grandma. What? Nice to meet you, I'm Ava. Could it be? Are you my grandson Ava? The girl, who bore a resemblance to my son, answered my question with a yes, and then took out a small purse she had and handed me a photo. In the photo, my son was smiling while leaning his shoulder against Ava, who was right in front of him. Well, Liam already looks old. When I look at my son, who has become a little overweight, I involuntarily squint my eyes. Do you always have this picture? Well, my mom told me to show it to my grandma when I see her today. I realized that I had been told that, but it seemed that Ava was alone. How did you get here? Liam is. Daddy went abroad for work, didn't he? Yes, but my mom sent me close. She's going shopping, so I should stay at Grandma's house. I'm sure Ava is 6 years old. I would never think of letting a child of this age walk alone overseas, but is this what America is like? However, as my grandson looked at me with an innocent expression, I couldn't help but feel my eyes well up with emotion. Ava, do you want a snack? Yay! When I gave the snacks and juice that I had at home, she happily savored them, looking deliciously satisfied. Afterwards, we engaged in crafting and other activities, and before we knew it, evening had arrived in the blink of an eye. When I was preparing in the kitchen to bring sweets as a souvenir, I heard a voice from the front door, "Grandma, see you later," and left in a blink of an eye. I hurriedly chased after her, but she was already gone, and I didn't know my daughter-in-law's mobile number, so I couldn't contact her. At night, when I called the house, no one answered, and the next day, Ava came again. "Come on. I was worried, you know. You were suddenly leaving. My mom picked me up nearby, so it's okay. When I see my granddaughter smiling at me, I wonder if I'm just being overprotective." She stayed at home until the evening that day, and then went home by herself, saying, "My mom is waiting nearby." Even if I call home, my daughter-in-law doesn't answer, but my granddaughter comes every day. This went on for 2 days, and just as I was starting to get suspicious about the situation, Ava said something unexpected. "Grandma, I want pocket money." "Pocket money?" "Yes. Give me $50. I was surprised to be told such a thing suddenly, but I wonder if it is the privilege of a small child to be able to beg for pocket money without being intimidated. I smiled and gave her $5. However, from that day on, Ava opened her mouth and said, "Money, money." Moreover, the amount demanded increased day by day, from $10 to $20. "Do you want something in particular? If you do, I can buy it for you." "No, I want money. I have a feeling that I want to give it to her, but I can't give it away easily." "Why do you want money?" "Well, I just want it." "But you shouldn't take too much money from people, right?" "Why, Grandma, you're rich, aren't you? Mom told me you have a lot of money, right? That's why I can get as much pocket money as I want." "What? Did your mom say that?" Ava repeats, "Give me," with sparkling eyes. There was a time when a few bills disappeared from my wallet on the day I said no. I wanted to call my son because I thought I couldn't go on like this, but unfortunately, he's still on a business trip overseas. I couldn't help it, so I called my son's house several times and finally got a daughter-in-law. "Oh, mother-in-law. It's been a long time. I'm sorry, I heard you were returning home, but things were so hectic that I couldn't." "I don't care about that, but what kind of education are you giving your child?" "What?" "Ava, she comes to my house every day to ask for money." "What do you mean, my Ava?" My daughter-in-law asks me in confusion, "What are you talking about?" When I hit it hard, what came back from her were unexpected words. "Well, Ava can't go to your house." "What are you talking about? I'm still at home." "Ava is. My daughter is in the hospital right now." "What?" According to her daughter-in-law, Ava was born weak and had been in and out of the hospital for a long time. I heard that the reason why only baby photos were sent while I was overseas was because they didn't want to worry me by showing a frail appearance. The reason why I couldn't connect to my daughter-in-law when I called home was because she was going to the hospital where Ava was hospitalized. Even after my wife hung up the phone, saying, "It's time to go to the hospital," I was stunned for a while. Ava came to my house that day as well. The child who called me Grandma as usual and had a picture of me with my son is not my grandson. Who is it? "Ava, can you answer Grandma's questions?" "Yes, okay, what?" "What's Ava's father's name?" "Liam." "So, what's your mother's name?" "Sharon." At this point, I furrowed my brows. The father's name was correct, but the name of the daughter-in-law I called earlier was Nadia. When I asked a few questions from there, each one seemed to have slight discrepancies. Ava, is your mom coming to pick you up today? Yes. Okay. At that time, I had already made up my mind. And in the evening, I gently followed Ava, who left our house alone as usual. After walking for a while, Ava enters a nearby park and runs up to a young woman who is there. She is a completely different person from my daughter-in-law, and I don't recognize her face. I hurriedly approached the two of them as they were about to leave the park. Excuse me. Are you her mother? That's right. Who are you exactly? I'm being asked for money by this child. Even though I deliberately speak in her ear so that the child cannot hear us, the other person answers loudly without thinking. So what? Aren't you Ava's grandmother? He told me that it's natural for a grandmother to give money to her grandchildren. Is that person Liam? Huh? Who else would it be? When I questioned the woman, who was smirking as if mocking me, it turned out she was my son's mistress, and Ava was my son's illegitimate child. Did you give your daughter the same name as your hidden child? What the hell is he thinking? My real daughter is in the hospital, and my daughter-in-law is also with her. I can't believe that he's having an affair and making a child. I was so dizzy from the shock. I think I should talk to you properly. What? Are you planning to lecture me? It's not all his fault. He won't hurry up and divorce his wife. Maybe you were begging me for money. That's right, it's not worth it if I don't get the money. Well, if he says he's going to get a divorce, I can stop, right? I felt my blood boil with indignation towards the woman who was so condescending, but I proposed that we should have a proper discussion when Liam returned from his overseas business trip. Eventually, the woman reluctantly agreed to this proposal. 3 days later, when I saw that Liam had returned home, I called him to my house because I wanted to eat with him after a long time. Unaware of anything, my son entered the living room, loosening his tie. Waiting for him were me, his wife Nadia, and his mistress. What the heck? What's going on? That idiot son of yours. That's what I want to say, along with Nadia. Theodore, with his eyes darting back and forth, shows no intention of stopping the attack. Liam, you should divorce Nadia right now. Why? Of course. Who do you think's been cheating for years and even had a secret child? No. There's a reason for this. Oh, and there's no way Nadia is going to get a divorce, is she? How am I going to live if my earnings are gone? Liam almost talked back, but it was Nadia who smashed it. No, I'm getting a divorce, and I don't want you to worry about my future life. I'll do anything for my daughter, much better than being married to you. Hey! Are you kidding me? It's bad for my reputation to be divorced. I don't know that. Please, go ahead and build a wonderful family with the woman over there. Prompted by Nadia, the mistress seems to be positively ecstatic, practically dancing with joy. Yes. He's going to divorce you, isn't he? Hey, mother-in-law, how long will Liam and I be able to live in this big house? Unfortunately, you won't call me mother-in-law, and it's impossible for you to live in this house. Why, are you going to say that you won't allow marriage? You can't decide that. Please, Do as you like with marriage. It has nothing to do with me anymore. What? Mom, what do you mean? Liam, I will cut ties with you from your parents and children, and from now on, you can live as you like. At my words, the place suddenly fell silent. Everyone there has a blank face. A few seconds later, the silence was cut by the screams of his cheating partner. What? This isn't a joke. What appeal does Liam have if he's not part of this rich woman's family anymore? What's that? I was dating because your parents were rich. Otherwise, I wouldn't be involved with a married man in the first place. I gave birth to a child because I thought I would get paid better if I had grandchildren. Apparently, my son has chosen a ridiculous woman as an affair partner. When Liam learned his true intentions, Liam's face was completely white, past the pale. What the hell is this punishment when you think that old hag has come back from abroad? I'm not kidding. I'll sue you for damages. You're a very dashing young lady, but unfortunately you're the one who will be charged alimony, right? You messed with a man with a family, so you have to make amends. No, That's right. I didn't know you were married. I was deceived by Liam. Oh, you just said, your parents were rich, so I was involved with a married man in the first place, right? I didn't say that, and you don't have any proof. Oh my gosh. I never thought that living abroad for a long time would be useful in a place like this. I said that and took out my cell phone that was being recorded. In fact, I had secretly started recording when my son came to this house. Don't underestimate me just because I'm an old lady. I've been living abroad for years in a country where everything is settled with lawsuits. It was a daily occurrence to record conversations and gather evidence. Now it was the turn of the cheating partner's face to turn pale. And just when I thought she was weakly bowing her head, the next moment, she clung to my legs with incredible force. Please, I didn't ask you what I told you earlier. Delete that recording. You're not giving up easily, are you? Pay what you owe quietly. How much is alimony? I don't have that kind of money. The woman turned to Nadia and begged for forgiveness, but she shook her head silently and shrugged her shoulders. After that, Nadia divorced and demanded $3 million in alimony each from Liam and the woman who was having an affair. Liam ended up paying a total of $1,000 per month for child support for his two Ava. He also lost his energy because he was insulated, and he made a series of mistakes at work. I heard he was fired for causing major damage to the company, and now he's working like a workhorse in day labor jobs. I heard rumors that the woman who was cheating on her managed to make a living in the city at night. On the other hand, I decided to live abroad again. After discussing with my husband, we decided to cross the sea together with my ex-daughter-in-law Nadia and Ava. After receiving state-of-the-art treatment, Ava's condition gradually improved, and now she is energetic enough to run around the park. I am happy to be able to watch my beloved granddaughter grow up by my side.